and Assalamualaikum. My name is Hina Janabila binti Nur Hisham. My metric number is 300836. So today I will present about designing a pay structure. Designing a pay structure involves creating a fair and competitive salary system within an organization. The goal is to balance internal alignment, meaning that fairness among jobs within the company also with external competitiveness based on market pay trends. To do this, organizations typically use job evaluation methods and market pay surveys to help predict appropriate salary levels. According to Martocho 2017, there are 5 key steps in designing a pay structure. The first step in designing a pay structure involves determining how many separate pay structures an organization needs. This foundational decision is critical because it sets the stage for how compensation will be managed across different roles and departments. Organizations can choose to implement a single unified pay structure that encompasses all employees or multiple distinct pay structures tailored to different groups or job classification. The choice between a single versus multiple pay structures depends largely on the nature and diversity of jobs within the organization. In a smaller company with a relatively homogeneous workforce, a single pay structure may be sufficient. However, in large or more complex organizations, jobs often vary significantly in terms of responsibilities, require skill levels, market competitiveness, and career progression. In such cases, it is more practical and equitable to establish separate pay structures for different job categories. For example, a company might create distinct pay structures for managerial roles, technical positions, administrative or clerical staff, and professional or executive jobs. Each of these job families typically has different market rates, progression paths, and performance expectations. Having specialized pay structures allows HR professionals to design compensation systems that reflect these differences. It ensures that salaries are aligned with market trends and that internal equity is maintained within each job group. Moreover, multiple pay structures support better talent management. For instance, technical roles might require competitive pay to attract highly skilled professionals in a tight labor market, whereas administrative roles might not be subject to the same market pressures. A differentiated pay system allows organizations to respond strategically to external market conditions while also maintaining internal consistency and fairness. In summary, determining the number of pay structure is a crucial strategic decision in compensation design. It enables the organization to better align pay with job demands, employee expectations, and business objectives, ultimately supporting both employee satisfaction and organizational performance.
Second step is to determine market pay lines. What is the market pay line? Market pay lines guide salary alignment with industry standard, ensuring equitable compensation structures and helping organizations attract and retain talent by maintaining competitiveness. The purpose of market pay lines is to determine competitive market based on salaries. This is to ensure that an organization offers salaries that are aligned with the average market rates. Second is internal equity. Internal equity employees performing job with similar complexity, responsibilities, and required skill receive comparable pay. No employee is overpaid or underpaid without justification. Third is to build a structured and logical pay scale. The market pay line provides a clear structure for organizing salaries in a logical way based on the relationship between jobs value, which means job evaluation points, and base pay setting starting salaries for new position. Structuring salaries progression as employees are promoted or gain experience. The fourth is to support workforce budget planning and cost control. This is the market pay lines allow organization to manage and forecast salaries budget more effective. Next is I will explain this graph how to determine market pay lines. Basically, we have 3 steps, which is step 1, we need to understand what is the measure on each axis. Step 2, understand the black dots on the graph, and step 3, understand the straight line. From the graph, we need to do is step 1, which is understand what is measured on each axis. There are two axes. The x-axis horizontal refers to the job evaluation points. This means that it shows the value of work based on the job evaluation. For example, jobs such as job B, F, G and so on up to job P have been evaluated and given specific point. The higher the points, the more important, complex or responsible the job position is. Next is the y-axis, which is vertical, shows the base pay. It is the average salary amount paid by companies in the market for job position at that level. This salary is obtained through salary market study or survey. The second step is to understand the black dots on the graph, where the black dots on the graph represent the actual data from the market survey. Each plotted point represents the actual average salary paid for positions with a certain points value. Step 3 is understand the straight line. In this step, we will use the equation model where y equals to a plus bx. It shows the summary or average the overall salary trend of all the black dots. It is also shows the relationship between the value of the job and the salary. For example, if the job is rated 60 point, which is this is a value of x, then we need to substitute 60 into x on the equation. So it will be y equals to 15522.56 plus 753.54 times with 60. So it will be 60,734 ringgit and 96 cents. So this means a job with a value of 60 evaluation point should receive an average market salary of approximately 60,734 ringgit and 96 cents. After do a calculation, we need to evaluate the result. For example, above the line, which is positive, for job F and job J are paid higher than the market average for their job value. This may reflect a tight market for certain skills or the firm's strategy to retain key talents. Next is a line or nearly a line, which is job P and job P, which is considered still at the market price. Below the line, which is negative, for job G, job H and job M, receive salary lower than the average. This indicates potential issues of internal equity and external competitiveness for this position.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Ashura Yozbuna binti Khalid and my matric number is 301026. Today, I'll briefly explain step 3 in designing a pay structure. Defining market grade. This step is essential in reward and remuneration because it helps ensure fair and consistent pay across similar jobs. We do this by grouping jobs with similar evaluation scores or market value into grades. Each grade is then assigned a standard pay range. It is minimum, midpoint, and maximum, which form the basis of how employees are rewarded financially. There are two methods to define grade. First, the absolute point spread method. Use fit point interval. For example, job scoring 1 until 200 go into grades 1, 201 to 400 into grade 2, and so on. This method works well when job scores are evenly spread out. Second, the percentage-based method. Use percentage of the highest job score to form grades. It is ideal when job scores are uneven or when a proportional system is more suitable. In short, defining market grade helps organizations maintain internal equity and align pay with job value. Next, as shown in the diagram, the vertical axis represents the annual salary ranging from Rm 10,000 to Rm 9,000. The horizontal axis shows the pay grade from grade 1 to grade 5. Each blue box represents the salary range for a grade. This includes the minimum, midpoint, and maximum. The dots show the actual employee salaries. If the dots are inside the box, that means the salary is within the expected range. But if the dots fall outside, it indicates a pay anomaly or either underpaid or overpaid. We can also see overlaps between grades, which allow flexibility in promotion and hiring decisions. Overall, this structure helps HR ensure that pay is fair, structured, and aligned with the market, making it easier to manage employee compensation effectively. Now, let's look at how salary range are calculated for each pay grades. The process represents the vertical dimension of the pay structure, which includes the minimum, midpoint, and maximum salary for each grade. HR usually begins by determining the midpoint salary, which is the halfway point between the minimum and maximum. This midpoint is often based on market data or the company's internal pay policy. Once the midpoint is set, HR uses a fixed percentage rate to calculate the minimum and maximum salaries. This method ensures that every pay grade has a structure, fair and competitive salary range. It also helps the organization attract and retain the right talent at every level.
My name is Nanaswa Ayuni binti Amiruddin. My metric number is 300837. Today I want to explain about the calculated salary range for each pay grade. First, understand the range split. For the definition is the difference between the minimum and maximum salary in a pay grade, usually shown in percentage, reflect job level and the value. Range split is simply the gap between the lowest and highest pay for a position. It is usually given in percent to reflect the nature or seniority of the job. Second, you need to know the standard range split by the job type. First is 20% until 25% as a lower level job, example as maintenance. Second, 30% until 40%, the clerical or technical position. Third is 40% until 50%, the professional or mid-management role. 50% and above is the executive and top level manager. Each job level has its typical range. For example, a technician may have a 35% range, while a senior manager may have a 55 or more. It is of the job. For the number 3, step-by-step formula. For the example given, midpoint salary RM 20,000 ringgit. Range split 40%. For the step 1 is calculate minimum salary. For the formula as given, midpoint divide by 1 plus range split divide 2. So the answer you can get 1666.67. To find the minimum salary, we divide the midpoint by plus 1/2 of the range split. Okay, for the step number 2, you need to calculate the maximum salary. For the formula is minimum plus range split times minimum. So the answer we can get RM 23333.33. Then we get the maximum by adding 40% of the minimum back to it. For number 4, salary grade example. Grade number 4 is 10 level, similar jump between level. Each pay grade can have a multiplier level within it. The more level, the more slower the salary grow. For the number 5 is pay range overlap. For the pay range overlap, the formula given is 100% multiplied by maximum pay for A minus minimum pay for B divided by maximum pay for A minus minimum pay for A. So for the example, 100% multiply 35,000 minus 30,000 minus 35,000 minus 20,000. So we can get 33.33%. For the this table show about the job grades and the salary range. Let's look at the different job roles, their pay grades and salary range. For number 1 is custodian and production assistant. Pay grade is 5, salary is RM 12,500 to 29,725 ringgit. These are the entry level job with a basic salary for the beginners. For number 2 is accounting clerk and the receptionist. The pay grade is number 6. For the salary is 21,000 until 32,000. These are clerical job. slightly higher than the entry level. For the number 3 is HR assistant and material handler. For the pay grade is 7. For the salary is 12,500 to 36,000. This job may have more tasks or need to specific skill. For the number 4 is secretary. The pay grade is 8. The salary is RM 25,000 until 37,000. This is an experienced admin role with a better starting salary. For the number 5 is public relation coordinator. The pay grade is 9. For the salary is 30,520 ringgit to RM 39,050 ringgit. A higher level job usually needing a communication for or media skill. So as the pay grade increase, the job become more skilled or experienced and the salary range also get higher. This is a salary structure terminology. First, at the bottom of the chart, we see the job grades. This represent different job level. For example, junior staff, executive and manager. As the job grade increase, the responsibility and salary also increase. Next, look at the blue box. Each box show the salary range for a job grade from the minimum to midpoint and then to the maximum. The salary range grid is shown on the left side. It is the difference between the minimum and maximum salary within one grade. This shows how much an employee's salary can grow without being promoted. The midpoint is the average salary for each grade. The line going up through all the midpoint is called the pay policy line. It shows the ideal salary based on market value and company policy. And then we have a midpoint to midpoint differential. This is the gap between the midpoint of one grade and the midpoint of the next. It helps make sure there is a fair salary jump between the level. Lastly, the salary range overlap show where two grades have similar salary range. This overlap helps employees move smoothly between grades without a big jump in pay.
The fifth step is evaluating the results. This step is about making sure employees are paid fairly based on their job value, both inside the company and in the outside market. Here's a simple breakdown of what it involves. So the first one is compare internal and market value. Look at how much the company values a job versus how much other companies pay for similar jobs. This helps ensure pay is fair and competitive. Second one is check the job evaluation process. Review how the company decides the importance or level of each job. Make sure the system used is fair and consistent. Third one is check the market survey process. Look at how the company gathers salary information from the market. It is done correctly. Are they using up-to-date and reliable data? The fourth one is check pay policies. Review the company's rules about pay, like how they decide raises or bonuses, to ensure they are fair and match company goals. In short, this step helps make sure employees are paid in a way that makes sense both inside the company and compared to other companies. In conclusion, so this chapter focuses on designing a fair and competitive pay structure within an organization. A pay structure is a system that outlines how salaries are set based on the value of different jobs. To create this structure, companies must balance internal alignment, how valuable each job is within the company, and for the external competitiveness, how much similar jobs are paid in the market. The process involves 5 main steps. First, the company decides how many separate pay structures it needs, such as different structures for staff and management. Second, it creates a market pay line using regression analysis, which helps predict the typical salary for each job level based on market data. Third, jobs are grouped into pay grades where jobs with similar value fall within the same range. Fourth, salary ranges are calculated for each grade, including a minimum, midpoint, and maximum pay level, usually based on the market line. Finally, the results are evaluated to ensure the pay structure is both fair internally and competitive externally. This includes reviewing job evaluation methods, market data, and pay policies. Companies may then choose a pay policy which is leading the market by paying more, matching the market by paying similarly, or lagging behind to reduce costs. Each choice has an impact on attracting and retaining employees. That's all from us. Thank you.